What is up, guys, and welcome back to our Coventry City career mode, episode number 17. And last episode, obviously I was talking about transfers, and I was talking about the Championship, and I thought I'd carry that on and talk about the Premier today. So that's what my commentary is going to be about, and what better more than obviously starting January transfer window in my Coventry City career mode this time. So yeah, it's evening itself out, which is good. But anyway, right, we'll start with one of the big boys, which is Arsenal. Now, don't get me wrong, Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Man U, obviously the big clubs in England this year hardly spent out at January, which was so surprising. You know, there was no 32 million Mata deals going on. There was no 50 million Fernando Torres deals going on. It was so surprising that none of the big clubs stepped up and bought a big player. The only really player Arsenal bought was Mohamed Elneny from Basel. I think he was around 7.5 million in the end. And to be fair, I mean, obviously he's probably a player for the future, but I mean, they haven't really signed anyone big. And I thought they maybe would have signed maybe just someone, obviously they're trying to win the league, so why not, get a good player in. Don't know what position, because don't get me wrong, I mean, strikers are not, Giroud's not doing bad. I mean, the midfield's playing class this season and defence is doing really well. So, I don't know, I don't know where to strengthen the squad, but if I would, I'd say maybe just striker, because, I don't think, even though Giroud does score a lot, I just don't think he does that much. But anyway, on to Chelsea, relegation contenders. To be fair, I don't think they're going to get relegated at all. I think they've just, something's happened this season. Maybe I don't know what's happened really. The players, obviously, maybe they're not playing as well. Obviously, Hazard's being absolutely crap. Diego Costa aren't being on that good form, but he is starting to step up a bit more, which is good to see. They aren't really performing very well, Chelsea, but I don't think they'll get relegated. I think, to be fair, they might end up in the top 10 of the Premier League anyway. But one signing they did make was Matt Mayagza. Now, he's a young centre-back, I think, and he was from the New York Red Bulls. I think that was around 3 million, that deal. So, he won't be starting anytime soon. You never know, he might go back on loan somewhere. But, yeah, they made that deal. But a big selling deal they did make was a Ramirez to a Chinese club. Now, it was 25 million for him, was such a good deal for them. They definitely got the money's worth of him, I'm telling you that. Because I don't think Ramirez is worth 25 million at all. So, definitely made some profit on that deal. And I think they're quite glad he went to a Chinese club, because at the moment, they are, wanting to spend the big money for what they would class as big players. But on to another club, which is Manchester United. No ins whatsoever. No young players that cost, around $1 million. No old players, no nothing. Absolutely no one. Obviously, Man U's links with every player, every good player every year. But this year, they haven't been really linked to anyone good. Obviously, at the start of the January transfer window, there was linked with Felipe Anderson from Lazio, the Brazilian winger. But I think, and then maybe a bit just into January, that obviously there was that moment where Van Gaal was like, transfer ban. If I'm going to get sacked, let's put a transfer ban. Should make a rap out of that. It sounds quite good. But so no ins whatsoever, and no outs really. Just I think a defender went on loan to Preston. That's all. But anyway, Manchester City, who you thought would maybe buy someone, didn't really. They only bought one player, and they was also from a club in New York, but this time New York City, and it was called Shea Facey. I think he's young again, and I think he's quite a defender that won't be starting anytime soon. So again, just absolutely nothing. Just not happened. It was so boring, to be fair. It was the smaller clubs that actually made the most, the most buys. But onto a club that's obviously sitting second in the table this time, and it's Tottenham Hotspur. Again, they did not buy anyone, but they did sell a few players. Obviously, they cancelled Adebayor's contract, so he could move on to Crystal Palace. Andros Townsend, he moved to Newcastle for 12 million, and they also sold a young defender. What obviously I don't think ever played for him, to be fair, so I don't think he'll be a really big miss. He might be in the future, you never know, but at the moment I don't think he's going to be. Now let's talk about the league leaders, Leicester City. What an absolute, what a great team. I'm loving them at the moment. They're doing so well. Everyone wants them to win the league, and I definitely do. But anyway, they actually bought Daniel Amati, a career mode legend, guys, a legend. Now, he's about 20 years old on FIFA 16, 70 rated. I think his potential is like 85, 86. So definitely a career mode legend. And I mean, you can pick him up for around 1.5, 3 million. So, he's such a great player to buy. I know I obviously bought him in a few career modes before, and I think he's a fantastic player. He's got pace, power, he's physical. His shooting's not that bad. He can run with the ball, dribble, pass, Great all-round player to have in your squad, and I would recommend you having him on FIFA. But he did actually move to Leicester City for 5 million from Copenhagen, which, I hadn't seen him play in real life. Obviously, I don't really, watch their league. I think they're from Denmark, Copenhagen. I'm not quite sure. My geography's pretty crap. But but one bargain deal they did get was Demarai Gray for 3.7 million. Obviously, he went to Leicester on quite a cheap because obviously Birmingham, like I explained last episode, Birmingham are in a bit of money trouble as their owner did kind of fuck up a bit. And, he were he basically got charged for fraud. So, yeah, he put him in a bit of trouble, but I think they're sorting it out now, and they're getting back to how there was before. But yeah, Demarai Gray to Leicester, 3.7 million, and what I've seen so far of him, he's playing quite well. He's not a bad little player. He definitely did very well in the Championship, but hopefully he'll do well in the Premier League, because I'm looking forward to watching him. Now on to Everton. Now they signed a young kid from Bury called Folds. Don't know much about him. I mean, I don't think he maybe will get even an appearance this season, but we'll see. Also signed a striker. I think he's from Senegal. I want to say he's an African striker. I'm not quite sure if he's from Senegal or not, but they bought him from Russia, Lokomotiv Moscow, and he is Omar Niasse. Now, like I said, I ain't seen nothing of him. I don't know how good he will be, but for 13.5 million, it should be quite good, to be fair. It should be quite good. And also, they signed a player called Sahina Tarasaj from Grasshopper Club Zurich. I think they're from Switzerland. And that was for 3 million. So again, don't know anything about him really. And I don't even know where he plays. So, I mean, will we get to see him this season? Maybe not. But anyway, we'll wait and see. Now on to their Merseyside rivals, Liverpool. Now, obviously, there was... For about 10 days, they were trying to sign Alex Teixeira from Shakhtar Donetsk. Now, in the end, Teixeira went to China for 38 million. I think he got his wages tripled. And to be fair, if you just want money and don't really want to play football for the passion, why not go to China? Why not get polluted and die early? I'm only kidding, guys. No hate to China, no hate. But yeah, they obviously blew that deal and didn't end up obviously signing him. But one signing they did make was a player called Marco Druic. Don't know about him really. Again, another foreign player that's coming into the Premier League. I think he's young, 5.1 million. Will he get a start? Not a clue. Don't know who he is, so we'll wait and see on that one. And now on to a team that's kind of having a relegation battle is Newcastle. Now, they have made some big signings this year. I mean, they made a lot in the summer. I think they spent was it nearly £50 million in the summer? And again, they've spent quite a lot in the January transfer window. The first player they picked up for 12 million was John Joe Shelvey. Now, for me, that is a massive buy. John Joe Shelvey, don't get me wrong, Swansea aren't playing good this year, but, I think he's been one of obviously the standout players in the Swansea lineup, and they've done well to get him for 12 million, to be fair, so a good deal. Also, they signed Andrew Townsend near the end of the January transfer window for 12 million again. Andrew Townsend is a funny player because he seems to he gets injured, comes back, plays really good, goes somewhere, we don't hear from him for about 2 months, and then gets injured again. So hopefully we'll maybe see a bit of good form from him. I don't know. We'll wait and see. And also they signed a French player, I think he is, called Henry Saviet from Bordeaux. That was an undisclosed fee, but I think it was actually around £10 million. So hopefully, they'll do good for them signings. And even a bigger one for, obviously, the FIFA community was Seydou Doumbia going on loan to them. I mean, for FIFA, that's a fantastic sign. And I'm excited to see how he plays in real life, Obviously, I haven't seen much of him because he's played in Russia, obviously. He played for Spartak Moscow, and you know, he played. Sorry, not for Spartak Moscow, CSKA Moscow, and obviously he played for Roma in the Italian league. Now, I don't watch any of that football because I think it's all crap, but we'll see how he does. Now on to a surprising team this year who's doing really well. Well, it should be surprising really because they've got some fantastic players. Is actually Stoke. Now, they actually only bought in one player, but it was quite a big player, Mbulu, the French international from Porto. 18.3 million, their record signing. So yeah, I'm excited to see how he's played because I mean, someone for 15 plus million definitely should be a good player. So I'm very excited to see how he goes, and you know, I'm just obviously waiting to see how he does. Now on to West Ham. Obviously they signed Sam Byram for, I think it was around 3 to 5 million in the end, and even better. They signed Emenike on loan. Now that guy was from Spartak Moscow he used to play for. I think he's at Fenerbahce now in real life, but obviously he's at loan on West Ham. So really excited to see him. And you know, them two up front will be such a good pairing on FIFA, definitely 100%. But you know, that was really it. You know, not a lot of other clubs made a few signings. I think the only really other club that made a few was actually Norwich, who obviously. Signed Stephen Naismith from Norwich, from Everton, sorry. I think that was about nearly 10 million, which was quite a lot of money, I thought, for him. Also, they signed that James Maddison guy, who is on my career mode at the moment, who is 74 rated, 20 years old. So, yeah, they signed him from an undisclosed fee, but I think that was around 3 to 5 million. And also, they got this Pinto guy from Dinar Zagreb from undisclosed fee. Don't know where they're from, and I don't know much about him. So, yeah. So, you know, that kind of wraps it up. I mean, not many clubs made many signings this season. Like I said, and like I've highlighted, the only other clubs that made a few signings, you know, they want a lot. They want the most exciting. I wish it was, to be fair. But what can you do? I mean, the only other club that made a few signings was Bournemouth, who obviously signed two strikers, Afobe and Graben. 9.3 million Afobe cost them, and 7 million Lewis Graben coming back to Bournemouth. That cost them 7 million. So yeah, that was really it for transfers, and really it for the Jan transfer window. So anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please hit the like button, subscribe if you are new, and guys, I'll be seeing you later. Peace!